They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Steps away to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score. Fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Bell. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Well, right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray, left side here. That's the tight end fan. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Murray now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it first and 10. Murray now on first down. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. Dante Pettis with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
To throw on third down, Murray. And Jennings has it. And all the way down to the 35. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now it's Mixon running right. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Watch the safety creep.
Again, it's Mixon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check 26, check 26.
They run it again with Williams. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Jackson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
The struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Williams to return. And now off to the races, down the right side. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Maher able to put this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he's gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
Check Mike, check Mike. Check safety, check safety. 61. Match box.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. He had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you could hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. There he goes, right side. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. A lone second remains now in this third quarter. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It brings up fourth. Now on fourth down, is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A huge play there for Arizona. 65 yards on the ground. The kick by Maher is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Bell. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, it's Bell, and that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Colts send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 18. Flexing his muscle at the 30. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. And an alley to run. Murray has the 1st down and more. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
On 1st down, Mixon. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He's got the 1st down here inside the 30, and he'll be taken down at the 26. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason.
Williams loses the football, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you go up on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona 1st. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Mixon. That goes for 14 yards. 1st down, Cardinals.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Let's go now. Pittsburgh. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 48-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
In your face.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7.
He can run for it, and he will. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
They run for it with Mixon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That goes for 14 yards. 1st down, Cardinals.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.